That's what I think of when they say, what do you bring to the table? What do women bring? It's not just the body and the figure and things like that and the sex. They want to be able to procreate with someone that can build a legacy, that structured legacy from the top to the bottom of their home.
To like you just talked about who they want to procreate with, who they want to build their legacy with. And a big part of that is being a mother. And I know you work a lot with the kids you interact with all the time, all of them about gratitude, you
Yes.
know, because, and I know a lot of kids, they don't want to hear it, but in our society right now, and each generation has had it hard. The previous generation has had it more difficult than the current generation. Because I know even our generation, I mean, our parents' generation or our grandparents, obviously we had more luxuries, but I couldn't even imagine the luxuries that their kids have now.
Girl.
Just always assumed that everything was pretty, in our generation, everything would pretty much stay the same. But with the internet and the cell phone, oh my goodness,
These electronics are everything for them.
they've made a severe shift in everything, in even playtime, because now we don't have to, people always, a lot of people have replaced outside playtime with, electronic and game time and
Right.
stuff like that. So that shift, and then having access to everything, everything,
At the fingertips, yes.
everything. Yeah. So um, we talk a lot too. A lot of issues that happen go back to, I think, is having gratitude, and all of this for me is about exposure. Even the place for resources, it's
Mhm.
about exposure, giving people exposure to things. Um, I want to just have a place in the internet, hopefully, where there is some positive or influential impact
Yeah,
of
it's
exposure
needed.
to be kind of balance out the rest of that, the rest of what they're seeing. But we talk about teaching the children gratitude because they won't have as many hardships as we did. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot, most kids won't have as many hardships as we did. So how do we teach them that humility?
Real quick, I want to touch on what you said. They won't have as many hardships as we did. I think a lot of our hardships growing up, for me personally, and I think even for you, we've talked about our upbringings and things like that, was our lack of things, like our lack of things due to financial situations with our parents or what have you. Um, However, what the children are lacking is a social emotional balance. So that's very much more important than having things. And that's what I try to engage my parents into understanding in the kids. So it's okay to be grateful for stuff, like to say I'm thankful because we have that whole thing every day. I'm thankful for and I'm grateful for. It's a must. You have to acknowledge something. You know what I'm saying? Um, and initially, it would be like, I'm thankful for my this toy, and I'm thankful for this, and I'm thankful for my gym shoes or my Timberlands, and it would just be stuff. They
Mhm.
never looked inside of themselves. And that's something that we're lacking. And when you can't look inside of yourself, you're emotionally, um, your emotional drive is external. So anytime someone else has something or doing something, or you're not able to participate, you break. Every I see it every day, and I'm thinking like, man, it was just
Mhm.
that. Like I understand the toy keys. I want this toy. It's bigger than that. It's Nobody can have a birthday in January. You can't celebrate a kid's birthday that's in January. Your birthday is in December. You crying
Mhm.
because the kid's birthday. And back then, we like, I'm going to such birthday party. Like, we're going to have fun, turn up for my girl. You know what I'm saying? Now it's this kid's birthday is January, and I want whatever they have right now, whatever they've just opened. I want it, or I'm going to emotionally be damaged. I'm going to have a problem. And
Mhm.
that's part of that's a very, I don't even want to use the word delicate. I want to use dangerous. That is a very dangerous way to teach our children. But we have gotten to the point where we just give and give and give. Like you said, the electronics, they're so accessible. That manages their time. That manages their socialization. They don't know how to communicate. They're sitting in a room with other kids. And the only thing they really can talk about are YouTubers, and they're 4 years old.
Mhm.
I'm like, how do you know this person? You can operate this piece, but reading these sight words is a challenge. That's a disconnect at home. And that's a part of, in my opinion, for
Mhm.
the woman, the mother. A mother always knows where their child is lacking. Always.
Mhm.
When you put the baby comes out and you put the baby to the mother's breast and they're not latching on,
Mhm.
you know that, hey, it's something that's not connecting. This is what naturally, this nature by nature, we were created to
Mhm.
feed our children from our breast. And so that's your first interaction with your child is that. And sometimes some mothers are like, oh, that's okay. Then some mothers are distraught because they feel like, hey, this is a natural thing. And I want my child to connect with me and bond and latch. And so they have lactations. What are the lactation specialists or something? They come around, they show you how to connect you with your child. So moms know, they may not acknowledge, but they can see and know, hey, my child's not looking me in my eyes. My child doesn't look anyone in their eyes. So things like that. That's the you that you bring to the table as a woman, connecting with his legacy that you've procreated together.
Mm. I love that. My mom used to say, them breasts is for the babies, not for the men. She was she was young because she was part of a pregnant and parenting teen program, and the young girls would be like, I don't want to breastfeed, and she said, well, you let that man suck on them. That's for
Right.
the babies, not for that man.
Yeah. But interesting enough, though, historically, it stated that during slavery times, when the men were not fed sufficiently, that the women would allow them to suck that milk for
Mm,
them to have some nutrients to survive. So not only were they feeding their children and sometimes the master's children with their breast milk, they would give it to the black men.
mm-hmm. Wow. Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, we're powerful beyond measure. We just don't. We want to put it in a different. We want the power to be all external stuff, but it's really the internal stuff that's most valuable.
Hmm. I really appreciate that too, because you're right. Right now, because even I was looking for a lot of external validation, through people, through men, through my career. I felt like I had to have a degree. If I was going to be chosen by somebody, I felt like I needed to have all these accolades and, um, achievements. But what I learned is no, nobody's, not nobody's looking for that, but I've learned to appreciate my my femininity and
Yeah.
not necessarily just looking cute, like you said, or keeping
Right.
shape or nails done, hair did, not that stuff, but just building on that internal, the internal portion of my
Yeah.
femininity, that feminine energy, I should say.
Yes.